the one, the only, former, actually, I should say a former good friend of mine, now a colleague and acquaintance, Sam Amick of The Athletic. Hello, Sam.
Hello, David.
Yeah, hi.
AKA these. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you got it right. Sam texted me this morning. I put out a tweet saying, "Hey, anyone got any good places to review like investment advice, stocks and stuff?" And Sam says, "Hey, you might want to invest in Luka Doncic," and that's a follow up to last week when he tweeted out his Doncic story from a few months ago and tagged me in it. And so finally, I had to ask Sam. I said, "Well, whatever I've done to offend you, let me apologize because this is brutal going on right now." But yeah, friends rib friends. That's fine. It's okay.
I mean, like I told you, at least I texted you, and now you're sharing it on your show, so it doesn't make a difference. So the Kings are going to be convinced that I'm just obsessed with this topic, and maybe I am. But that was just to rub a little salt in your wound.
I got bubble questions, but now that I'm thinking about, you got me thinking about Luka. Let me ask you this. I don't even know if you can answer this. I don't even know if I can ask a journalist this question because can you have an opinion on this? Did you see the Morris Luka misstep last night?
Yes.
Let me put it this way. Do you think that the growing cacophony of people that believe that Morris, thank you, that Morris might have done that on purpose, do you think that's a bunch of hooey, or do you understand why they might think that way?
I would go for option B.
Yeah, that was weird, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. I actually, part of the fatigue you hear in my voice, for some reason, even though I'm stuck in a hotel room, I stayed up way too late last night, and part of that was I was on the phone with another friend, Dan Wicke of the LA Times, and so Dan tweeted something essentially saying that, if you're going to lob that kind of an accusation, like, you better really know.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, but I was giving Dan a hard time. He's based in LA, and I said, "Oh, look at you caping for the Clippers," But more seriously, the video's suspect. I also just think that anybody who's been watching that series, there's this combination of two things. For one, the Clippers are an incredibly aggressive team, personality-wise, and competitively. I hate to say it. It's like, you're laughing at Damian Lillard when he misses free throws. You're getting incredibly chippy in game one with Luka. It's like, sorry, it does fit in with kind of the way you're presenting yourself. And then secondly, it's just, Luka is the only threat for them right now. So do I know that he did it on purpose? No. But it's just, it looked bad.
Sam Amick with us. Sam, let me ask you about Bubble Life real quick. I know Jay's sitting here wanting to ask real, actual topical questions. I don't know how much you can or want to get into, but first off, how many more days do you have in quarantine?
2 more.
2 more. Have you? Is there anybody? Are you on a floor basically with a bunch of random people? Anyone around you that you know? Why are you laughing, Sam?
I don't know. Maybe because I told you offline who my next door neighbor was.
Well, didn't I read you tweet that Shams is a neighbor of yours?
Yes, that is one. I will not name the other.
That's what I was referring
executive. Yeah, Sean Sharania from The Athletic is my neighbor on one side. We joked with an editor about. I mean, this is kind of stupid because we do have cell phones, but our editor sent us a link to a Morse code guide. Where you can just pound on the wall and say,
and so far.
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. No, I will say that without saying names, I can say other names that are right next to me, but a lot of front office executives who had to leave the bubble for some reason and then come back, or maybe never came in the first place and are now here. There's a lot of front office folks in this building. A couple of doors down, this part is fair game. Tim Conley, who runs the Nuggets, is in the neighborhood, and people like that. I ran into a Milwaukee Bucks coach yesterday when I was going to get tested, where it's once a day I leave for 5 minutes to go get tested, and saw a Bucks coach. So there are NBA people on this side.
Before I turn it over to Jay,
I was just going to ask real quick, is that the best 5 minutes of your day, Sam, is just getting out of your room for that test?
Oh, dude.
It is, Jay, yeah. For one, that's something that the first crew of media didn't get. They would have the testers come to the front door. I'm not really sure why they changed that policy, but to your question, 100%. First of all, you find yourself walking as if you're a 95-year-old man on purpose, because you just take your time and breathe in the air, and then it is an incredibly cheery and friendly and helpful bunch of medical professionals inside this hotel room, that's turned into a lab where you go, and so you walk through and you got to check in with your little wristband and give them your name and confirm your birthday and take the test. So but it is nice to get out just for a few minutes a day.
Sam Amick with us. Sam, I'm not gonna put Sam in a position to criticize the NBA when he's going to be in this bubble for God knows how long. Let me just say, independently of Sam Amick,
you're going to get me kicked out.
I just want to say the NBA has done so many amazing things with this. Really, truly deserve to be commended. No joke, no bit. But you gotta think that someone somewhere is going, okay, maybe we should make this floor the media floor.
Right.
And then maybe we should make this floor the basketball executive / player / coach, whatever. But maybe we should, really for the sake of, not for you guys, Sam, but for the sake of the members of the franchises, so they don't have to worry about, pacing the floor and yelling and screaming and, oh, hey, breaking news. And I know obviously you wouldn't do that, and that's not a good thing to do. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be that difficult to cordon off a part of the hotel that is media only, and then keeping other groups away from that group. But that's just me. You don't have to comment.
I hear you. I also, admittedly, I'm going to get into my feelings here. I have a complex about the I'm giving you compliments.
Oh, unanimity.
Yes, ostracization. Is that a word?
You're going with ostracizing, but the ostricity. Yeah. I know what you mean.
That sounds like a terrible skin lotion or something. I don't know, as if we all wake up in the morning and put our ears on the walls and try to, I hear you, but we're all people. We're just,
not all of you. Also, you're not all people. Let's be clear. You are, and Shams, I'm sure, is, and I am, and Jay is. There's some bastards in the media. You know that.
There's only 15 of us here, man. How many of these?
Oh, I got you. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean in this? Okay, you're 100%.
I'm just saying in this particular crew.
Okay. It's the Daily Mail isn't there in the UK or something, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
I get your point, but it is a pretty small crew. Although, it's funny. A quick story for you that is up that alley. There's no Denver media in your market, so they won't steal this idea, but it is unique. I'm watching the Nuggets game last night, and I had actually texted Tim Conley, who runs the Nuggets, and I said, when the game was over, I said, hey, I didn't want to jinx it, but since you guys won, I would love to, any chance you're willing to hop on the phone and talk about how miserable it was that you were stuck in your hotel room when your team's season was on the line. And so he politely declined just because he wants to stay in the background. But regardless, that kind of a story idea where I wouldn't have known if I wasn't here that this poor dude is still stuck in quarantine while his team is out there doing its thing. So I think that's going to be the fun part, is that being here is going to lead to a lot of kind of colorful angles like that.
Sam Amick from The Athletic joining us this morning. Sam, obviously being inside the bubble, we're getting all sorts of storylines. Let's focus on the Nuggets since we're on that topic real quick. Jamal Murray, Michael Malone said it yesterday in a presser, is basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, is kind of a budding superstar. Kind of talk about Jamal's evolution in the bubble. It's been pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, it has. His back and forth with Donovan Mitchell has been really special. And he's just, to his credit, he's found his kind of his mojo more often than he has in playoff seasons past. He's always been this incredibly explosive, dynamic player, but it's a little bit like the the baseball guy who's got a plenty of pop in his bat, but he consistently gives you a 250 batting average. And with Jamal, that was the case. He was inefficient, defensively suspect at different times, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the environment or just the experience because they've been through a few things as a group already, or who knows, maybe the good old-fashioned kind of the mano-a-mano element with Donovan, because in that first game when I forget what Donovan finished with, but where he got the best of him, and that battle was so good, I'm sure that brings out your best, you know what I mean? But man, he's been on fire. There was a clip that I watched about 10 times this morning where, that one where he splits the double team at the top of the key and then crosses over Jokic, I think it was, and then Gobert, not Jokic, they're big, George Yang. Anyway, Gobert's in the middle of the lane, and he just does a complete 360 and somehow finds the rim with the layup. So, special stuff.
I saw a clip of that. I'd actually asked for it. I don't know if they did it for me or it was just out there, but somebody slowed that clip down and put the Chariots of Fire.
All about you, Dave.
Huh?
All about you.
Yeah, me, not we. Sam Amick joining us. Sam, listen, we won't have a lot of time left, so we can move quickly on beyond this. I should ask you, you're in Sacramento. You've been very busy in the bubble doing things, and I totally get it. Do we even talk about Kings here, or should we just save that for next week? Like, I imagine you're not really...
say that.
Yeah.
We can say it for now. I'll probably say, honestly, since we're doing sights and sounds from the bubble, I will say, I guess, to set the stage for what's to come, and we'll see where this goes. I mean, as far as, like, even though I'm stuck in the room, I can tell you it definitely feels like the next couple of days, starting today, the focus is going to be on how these players respond to what's happening all over the country again, and with Jacob Blake. And what happened in Wisconsin, chatter about, obviously the Raptors came right out and said they were thinking about boycotting their game tomorrow. And so that part is, I think, about to get very real again, because, they had been obviously peacefully protesting and talking at length every single day about Black Lives Matter. And I think you got a lot of players, coaches, executives now that are, with good reason, very upset again and trying to figure out how to reconcile that with being in this environment and trying to focus on basketball and whether or not they even want to.
Sam, are you hearing anything out of, again, we've heard, we played the Fred VanVleet audio this morning. Is that kind of a real thing, not just from the Raptors, but are you hearing that amongst other teams that, hey, there's a possibility of sitting out a game, maybe a game or two? What are you kind of hearing amongst kind of the other teams? What's the chit-chat there?
Yeah, there's some. I mean, it's not incredibly loud, but at first I had people telling me, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then it was like, oh boy, maybe it will. So I don't know what direction it's going to go, but I do think it's real. And it's the other stuff is like these guys. I mean, you saw George Hill of the Bucks just flat out say he doesn't think they should have come to the bubble. There's guys that might have already been struggling with their own kind of state of mind. I mean, Paul George last night was really open about his own anxiety and depression, partly because of this environment. So you add into that, another person of color being killed in a community that looks very much like the ones that a lot of these guys grew up in front of his kids, no less, which a lot of these guys can certainly relate to. And that's going to change the mood yet again in a pretty tough way.
And Doc Rivers' comments we played earlier too, which
that was incredibly
floored me, and just seeing that, and people make it political. Go ahead.
And that's a guy too, I don't know, just to add a little substance to his voice for the listeners who might not know. I mean, it's not just a long tenured NBA coach, who won a championship with the Celtics and played in the NBA. It's a guy whose father was a cop in Chicago, and a guy who in his San Antonio days had his family's house burned down in what was a racially motivated crime. Even thankfully his family wasn't there, but the animals inside their house got burned alive. I mean, he's seen a lot, but he, a lot of times, even though he's outspoken, I've never seen him get this raw and this deep, and that was obviously very well said, but tough to watch.
On a on-court level here, forgive me, I think you've said it publicly, but I always err on the side of caution. You revealed your MVP choice, correct? Sam?
Guys, I got audio piping into my ears.
Oh,
now.
hold on.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go.
Gone
Is
now?
that better?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. it's
Sorry.
all right. Give me that. Have I revealed what?
I believe you have, but I always err on the side of caution. You have revealed your MVP pick, right? You did that a while back.
Yes.
Oh.
I picked Sacramento King Luka Doncic.
Wow. Yeah, dude.
Got him.
Right in the chest. It hurts.
Yeah, I picked Giannis. I had Giannis for Defensive Player of the Year, which he obviously won last night. And for MVP, and I forget the history, but he's going to be
Third, I think.
first guy since Kareem?
Yeah.
Was
Did Hakeem win it?
I thought Hakeem won Defensive
it
Player.
Hakeem?
Yeah, I think Hakeem
Yeah,
was
you're
the last
probably
one.
right.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. You think I know the game? Some kind of basketball writer?
How's the food?
Oh, wow. If we have time, can I share that?
Please.
Before
Oh,
he,
yeah.
Sorry, hold
I
on.
have one very important task for him before he shares that.
Yeah.
Sam, you know many of your colleagues and writers across the league. Stop whatever you're working on, and can you please find out for us who gave a second place Defensive Player of the Year vote for Hassan Whiteside?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why'd you do that,
Oh,
Sam?
I thought you were going to say Drummond. I mean, that one was
No.
pretty bad, too.
Whiteside.
Yeah, that's...
Explain yourself, Sam.
I think the votes come out. I don't think they do. I mean, everybody's votes will be revealed at some point.
Oh,
here.
I can't wait.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. I mean, it's like I'm drawing a blank on the MVP one when Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe had voted for Carmelo
Right.
over LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, no, that was not me. What did I do? I went Giannis, AD, and Rudy, I believe. I shouldn't forget, but the last two might have been transposed. But yeah, that was tough for sure. I was a little surprised how much Giannis ran away from it.
I was too. It was a blowout.
Yeah, and even Brook Lopez, if you really talk to basketball people, Brook Lopez should have really gotten some love, ironically being on the same team, but that didn't pan out at all. On the food front, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, food. So you don't order, right? They just pick your food for you, which sounds terrible.
What if you're allergic to something?
Well, this is, I don't know. Listen, I'm having ethical conflicts in here in general because you have exorbitant testing, which is hard to get all over the country. You now have, it's pretty wasteful, but I get it.
Right.
They are leaving an insane amount of food at my doorstep every single day. 3 times a day, I get a knock. And what they are doing, because you're not ordering, and I do think for whatever reason I've got them fooled and I got some sort of VIP upgrade because it says so on the box, and I heard one of the guys even say it. But they are giving me 2 meals for every meal. So
Gotcha.
you're coming out, and I'm not talking peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
The first day I was here, the first 2 offerings for dinner were really good salmon and lamb chops.
Wow.
Yeah. Then it's next day, gourmet chicken with rice. Right now, because I did happen to sleep in a little bit more today, the breakfast showed up at 9. The problem is I don't have a microwave.
Yeah.
And so unless you eat it right away, it gets cold. Although this is, bubble neighborly kindness here. My neighbor right next door, God, I can't even talk, has a microwave, has offered to help if I need to, maybe shuttle some food his way. But it's a ton of food, and it's, you sit here and eat 30% of it and then put the rest of it outside. And, I don't know if that's the best way of doing it, but it's a weird system.
We're way out of time, but I want to finish with this. Obviously, you're very concerned and very good about all the protocols there and would never do anything to violate them. Sam and I'm bringing this on the air from off the air. Sam and I agreed. Sam, you're going to do some research because, as we understand it, people there, whether players or otherwise, can receive packages. They just have to go through a cleaning and this and that, and whatever, and then you eventually receive it. So, are we anywhere on getting me the ability to send. I'm going to start sending packages to Sam every week, and then he's going to open them and review them on the air with us. Are we closer there? Because I already know what the first thing I'm sending you is.
Yeah, no, I just dropped the ball on and I apologize on getting you that info. I don't have it. I don't think it'll be hard to get, so I will get that to you today.
Benefits you as much as me, Sam.
It does. I mean, I kind of wish we would have. I could have gotten this process going quickly enough to entertain me during quarantine.
I have Amazon Prime, dude. You get it in 2 days. So.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I will let you know.
Okay. TheAthletic.com is where you can find Sam Amick, Jason Jones, Shams Charania, and so many others. And that's just the basketball part. With football ramping up, they have tons of specials going on. It's less than the price of a drink at a bar. I mean, my goodness, be informed, be educated. Don't be the one person that doesn't know what they're talking about at the water cooler. Get your subscriptions at The Athletic. Sam, you're the man.
Thank you, guys. Nobody goes to bars anymore, Dave, just so you know.
That's a great point. Okay, well, it's less than what a Dodger fan would have had to pay in gas to drive back to their hotel last night after the Giants walk-off if they had fans there.
I'm Dave. I make Dodger jokes. Did my team finally win baseball game?
Thanks, Sam.
That was a lot to process. All right, see you guys.
Bye, Sam.
Sam.